and welcome to the Weather's Happening Linux Installation and Usage Tutorial. This tutorial will be very basic. I'm not really a computer guy, I just use Linux. In this tutorial, I will go through the steps necessary to install Linux on a laptop or computer. Do this at your own risk. I will not be held responsible if you mess something up, etc. Computers could be different, and it's possible you won't be able to use this tutorial for your computer. For instance, I don't know if this will work for a Mac, but it should work for most computers. But again, this is at your own risk. Make sure everything is backed up. So for this tutorial, you will need the computer you are installing Linux onto and a USB flash drive. And after the Linux installation, I will then go through some of the steps I take when I install Linux first on a new computer. Installing the GNOME shell extension -2 panel. Installing the GUIC terminal. Installing LibreOffice, KDN Live, and GIMP and other things too, etc. Configuring Firefox the way that I like it. Upgrading via the terminal, etc. Please, before you engage in this tutorial, make sure to back up all your stuff. Triple check that it's all backed up, because this tutorial is going to wipe your entire system. It will erase everything on your computer, so get everything into an external hard drive or in the cloud, or preferably both. And if it's an external hard drive, make sure that that external hard drive is not attached or plugged into your computer as you go through these steps. You don't want any accidents. I will remind you of this throughout the tutorial. Now, I've been using Linux since I bubbled up onto the surface of your reality in 2012. At first I used a distribution called Debian, but at this point, though, I just use standard Ubuntu with the GNOME desktop. Why? Because it's easy. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And TBH, I like GNOME. Anyways, let's get right down into it. Here we are in Windows 11. Yuck. Is this what you're running away from? First step is we're going to download Rufus.
What the fuck is Rufus?
Great question. Rufus is a little Windows utility that will allow you to create a bootable Ubuntu USB drive. If you're on Mac, you could try Etcher, but I don't know anything about changing Macs to Linux or anything like that, so proceed with caution. Anyways, just open up your web browser, and I assume that you have something other than Microsoft Edge. Oh no. Open Microsoft Edge. Start without your data. No. Bring over your data? No. No data. Your Microsoft Experience 2020? No. Okay. I'm guessing you're not using Microsoft Edge. You probably have Firefox or Chrome installed or something, but this is a brand new installation of Windows 11. This is a virtual machine. You don't have to worry. This isn't a real computer. This is a virtual machine, which is sort of like a computer within a computer. Okay, so, yeah, let's see. Let's just search for Rufus download. There we go. Copilot search. God. There it is. Now don't be fooled by any of these ads up top or to the right. Just scroll down. Scroll down to the download section. And take this type standard link rufus.13.exe or whatever the newest version is. So just click on that. Spot screen is not able to scan. Should keep it. Oh, come on, be quiet. Let's just be quiet. Do I have the file or did you? Why is Windows Explorer taking so long to load? Downloads. Confirmed. Keep. Okay, do we actually have the file? Okay, very good. We have the file. Now, we're going to get the Ubuntu disk image, the ISO. This is what Rufus will burn onto the USB flash drive. Just search Ubuntu download. Download. LTS release, what does that mean? It has long-term support. So a long-term support release means that it will be supported for 5 years. So Ubuntu 24.04 will be supported until 2029. If you're watching this video after April 2026 though, you're going to want to get 26.04, which will be another LTS, and that will be supported until 2031. Just go ahead and download that. The download should start up. There we go. Okay, that's taking its sweet time. So if you're watching this, I'm creating this video on March 6th, so it's not April yet. I will be changing my desktop over to 26.04 as soon as that's available in late April, but that's neither here nor there. You don't need to worry about that. You don't even need to install 26.04 if you don't want to. Like I said, 24.04 will be supported until 2029. If you were on Linux wanting to make a USB startup drive, you would use the startup disk creator, I think it's called. Yeah, it's called the startup disk creator. Luckily, through the power of video editing, you won't have to be waiting through this entire process of downloading Ubuntu. Why is it taking so long? It usually doesn't take this long. It's usually like 3 minutes. But if you're watching this tutorial, you may have seen that article that was floating around suggesting that Windows 12 would come out later this year and would be AI focused and would be modular and subscription based. Well, it turns out that that's not even true. That article is based on another article that was written by AI itself, so yeah. Alright, I'm back. Did I miss anything? No, it's still downloading. Okay, great, it's done. Okay, so plug your USB drive into your computer, and again, make sure that everything is backed up, and detach any external hard drives from your computer, except for the USB flash drive. Now we're going to open Rufus. Smart screen can't be... Okay, I don't know what that means. I don't care what that means. Oh, why does Windows 11 have to be like this? Okay, can we just run this, please? There we go. Yes. Check for application updates online. No. We're just gonna use this once. Okay, so here we go. Now, I don't have a USB flash drive plugged into this virtual machine. That's just not gonna work. But here's what you would do. You would select your device, your flash drive, from a list of devices that would be populated in this drop-down. So select that. Now here, disk or ISO image, please select. We're going to click select here. We're going to click this here, the ISO file, the Ubuntu image that you just downloaded. Open that. It would say ready. It would be green if the device was also selected. Unfortunately, I can't show you this, but just leave all of these settings around here as is. Don't worry about the advanced format options, and click stop. And that'll take some time to write that image file to your USB drive. I don't know if you're installing Linux onto the computer that you're using right now or a different computer, but if you're installing Linux onto the computer that you're on right now, as soon as this Rufus job is finished, you can restart your computer. Or take the USB, plug it into the other machine that you want to install Linux onto, and turn that laptop on or restart that laptop or computer or whatever. Okay, so what you should do now is restart your computer, but be ready because you're going to have to be hitting F2 and or F10 over and over and over again as soon as it restarts. Okay, so as your computer reboots, as soon as it restarts, you're going to be hitting F2 or F10. I'm not sure which it's going to be for your computer. I think it's mostly F2 for most computers, but it could be F10 or it could be something else entirely. You might have to look up how to get into the BIOS for your specific computer, but it's probably going to be F2 or F10. But as your computer's starting up right after it restarts, you want to be hitting F2 or F10 or both at the same time. like this, until you get a message saying that the BIOS is loading, and then once the BIOS is loaded, that's where things are gonna be a little bit tricky. I can't show you what's gonna happen, but maybe I could show you an image. So your BIOS may look something like this. It may look a lot more modern than this. You may have a mouse, you may not have a mouse. I'm not sure, it all depends on how old your computer is, what computer it is, what sort of, whatever. But the point is it's gonna be something like this. It's gonna look slightly archaic. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna find a menu that says boot menu, boot order, boot's configuration. Rev's menu has to do with boot, select that, and go into that. Now you'll see a list of devices. What you want to do is move the USB flash drive to the top of the list. Get it? Move the USB flash drive to the top of the list. That'll make sure that when your computer starts, instead of booting from your hard drive like a computer normally would, instead of doing that, it will boot from the USB drive that you just created. Get it? So make sure that your USB flash drive that you just created in Rufus, make sure that that's in position number 1 and ready to boot. And once you have accomplished that, what you're going to do is restart your computer. And if you did things correctly, the grub loader should present you with the option to try or install Ubuntu, as you can see here. So you're just going to press enter on that. This might take a little bit to load, so just be patient. There we go, it's loading. There we go. Now, choose your language and hit next. We'll be using English here. Now you can set various accessibility settings here. We're going to leave all of this just the way that it is. Now select your keyboard layout, English US, and that's the keyboard that I have. Click next. Now here, if you're connected to the internet via Ethernet cord, just leave it as use wired connection. If you need Wi-Fi, you can select Wi-Fi. Now, it doesn't show up here because my virtual machine does not have Wi-Fi or anything like that. But you want to use Wi-Fi, just select Wi-Fi. Select your Wi-Fi network, then enter your Wi-Fi password, etc. It's all pretty self-explanatory. You've connected to the internet before, it won't be that difficult. Click next. What do you want to do with Ubuntu? We don't want to try it, we want to install it. Leave it on install Ubuntu. Click next. How would you like to install Ubuntu? Leave it on interactive installation. Click next. What apps would you like to install to start with? Now, in my opinion, I like to just do the default selection. That includes Firefox and a few other little things, utilities, etc. The extended selection has a bunch of office tools and all these different apps, etc. But I don't think you want to do that. Just do default selection. You can install anything you need to install once Ubuntu is all set up. Click next. Install recommended proprietary software. You definitely want to do this. Install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware. You definitely want to do that because if you don't, your Wi-Fi might not work, your graphics card might not work, all sorts of stuff might not work. Download and install support for additional media formats. Definitely want to do that so that you could listen to MP3s, MP4s. Click next. Okay. Now, please, before proceeding, is everything backed up for sure? Is your external drive unplugged from the computer? Double, triple, quadruple check that everything is backed up, because this next step is going to erase the entire disk. Now, optionally, if you want to encrypt your computer, which in the year 2026 is not a bad idea, click on Advanced Features, click on Use LVM and Encryption. Click OK. There we go. Now, it's not displaying here because this is a virtual machine. I am not actually installing Linux onto a real computer that has Windows running on it. It's a mini computer inside of my regular computer. Nothing to worry about. But if Windows is on your machine that you're installing Linux onto, there will be an option to install Ubuntu side by side with Windows. You could try that if you want, but I don't know much about that or how that works. So this tutorial is not about that. For this tutorial, we are selecting erase disk and install Ubuntu with advanced features, use LVM and encryption. So with that selected, wait a sec, again, are you certain all your stuff is backed up? This is a tutorial for deleting everything on your computer. If you are certain you're backed up, click next. Here, we gotta choose a passphrase. Now this, will be asked for this passphrase every time your computer stops. It will unlock your encrypted hard drive. If you lose this passphrase or forget it, that's it. You won't have any more access to your disk because it's encrypted. So make sure it's something that you can remember. Perhaps save it, write it down somewhere. You could also have it be the same as the password for your computer. Maybe that's not recommended, but that's something you could do. I'm just putting in the passphrase test123 because I don't care. I'm deleting this installation as soon as I'm done and showing it off to you. Click next. They enter your name. Now give your computer a special name. I'm gonna name this your username. It doesn't have to be the same as your name, but I'm going to remove this dash because I don't like it. Now it's time to set the password to get into your computer to log in. We're gonna do it again. Test123. Test123. Now again, make sure that the password that you enter probably shouldn't be test123, and it should definitely be something that you can remember. Maybe it's the password that you're already using for your Windows computer. I don't know. You know how to deal with the passwords. Just deal with the password. Just require my password to log in. That's what you want. It's 2026. Click next. Select your time zone. It should auto-detect it and have it all set up. Click next. Here we go. Review your choices. Disk setup. Erase disk and install Ubuntu. Now you got one final chance to review what you're doing. Warning. Once you click install, that's it. You will lose everything on the computer. Windows, your files, everything. Please, before clicking this, be absolutely certain everything is backed up. Make sure that your external hard drive is not connected to your computer, except for the USB flash drive. Keep that in. And once you're certain, click install. There we go. It has begun. Now this will take a little while. You can cycle through these, it'll cycle through automatically, or you can do it yourself. Just little, I don't know, they're just little advertisements for Ubuntu. That's it. I guess you could, can you look at official documentation? You might be able to look at this stuff as this is working, but I don't know. Or if you want to, you could click this button right here, and this will show you what it's doing under the hood, in case that's of interest to you. There we go. Ubuntu 24.04 LTS is installed and ready to use. Only one thing left to do. Click restart now. Please remove the installation medium and press enter. Remove the USB flash drive. Now the passphrase for your encrypted disk, enter that. Okay, here we go, Weatherman. Enter your password. There we go. Click next to open Ubuntu 24.04.4. You don't really need any of this. Enable Ubuntu Pro. Don't do that. Just skip that. No, don't share system data. You don't want to do that. Finish. So first we're going to go into settings. Hit your start key, your Windows key, whatever you want to call it. Hit start. Start to search for what you're looking for. In this case, settings. So S-E settings. There it is. You can select that, or just press enter on it. We're just going to change two things here. Two things that sort of irritate me a little bit. So appearance, dark mode. There we go. Ubuntu, desktop icons, show home folder. No, there we go. That's just the first thing I wanted to do. Anyways, this is how I like to set it up, and I think it would be helpful to you to get a sense of what's going on in this Ubuntu GNOME desktop. The first thing we're going to do is install GWake.
What the fuck is GWake?
It's my favorite terminal. Yes, you'll be using a terminal here and there within Ubuntu. To install GWake, we're going to use the terminal that Ubuntu comes with. So again, that Windows key, that start key, I'm going to call it the start key from here on out. Okay, so hit the start key. And type the letter T. The first results to show up as terminal, you could just click on terminal or press enter. Very good. So we're going to install GWake using the terminal. It has to be lowercase, unfortunately. So type sudo apt install GWake. It's going to ask for your password. You want to continue? Yes. Now, hit the start key, type in the letter G for GWake. GWake terminal. Open that. Now it says press F12 to use it, but if you press F12, you'll notice it does nothing. This is because, well, I don't know, for reasons I won't get into now. You could do an internet search for Wayland keyboard shortcuts if you want to learn more about the issue here, but you don't need to know about that, really. You'll have to set the keyboard shortcut yourself. So hit stop, type keyboard short, there it is. Select that, I'll open up the settings. Let's make this full screen here. Okay, click view and customize shortcuts. Scroll to the bottom. Custom shortcuts. Add custom shortcuts. Click add shortcut. Just give it whatever name you want to. GWake toggle. Command GWake dash toggle. Then click set shortcut and hit F12. Add. There we go. Now if you hit F12, there you go. There's your terminal. Which I think is a much better experience than always opening up this terminal over here. So now you got the terminal when you need it. You just press F12 and it appears. Isn't that so special? So just close out of this. You can close this now. Oh, one more step with GWake. Hit your start key. Type start. Startup applications. Open up startup applications. Click add name. GWake. Command. GWake. Add that. Now GWake will start every time your computer starts. Now we're going to make this computer slightly more Windows-like. Now, I don't really think of it like that. I don't think it's that Windows-like. But the purpose of what we're about to do is to combine, see this top bar up here? You see this bar to the left here? We're going to combine both of those bars and put it at the bottom. To do this is kind of a convoluted process, but I believe it will be worth it for you. Why this is so complicated to initially set up is beyond me, but we need to do a couple of things. So open up Firefox. Yes. Do a quick search for shell extensions. Oh, yup. Google, hang on, let's do one thing real quick. Go to settings in Firefox. Type in the word duck. Default search engine. DuckDuckGo. Now, that's optional, you don't have to do that, but come on, it's 2026. Who wants to use Google in 2026? Okay, now let's search again, this time in DuckDuckGo. Yeah, so turn off the AI thing. Show. Never. There we go. Now you'll never see that AI crap. So now go over here. Okay. If you see up here, to control GNOME shell extensions using this site, you must install GNOME shell integration, and that consists of two parts: browser extension and native host messaging application. Great. Just great. So click here to install this browser extension. This will be easy. Continue installation. Add. Okay. Now see wiki page for native host. See wiki page page for native host connector installation instructions. So click on the wiki page, installation guide, distro packages. It has different versions of Linux here. Scroll down until you find Ubuntu Linux. You can just copy this, press F12 to paste it into the terminal, type Control-Shift-V. Oops, I guess I didn't copy that correctly. Control-Shift-V, there we go. There we go. Now, go back to GNOME shell extensions and start searching for -2 panel. Hit enter. There it is. -2 panel. Allow Firefox to start web extension backend and click allow. Oh, reload this page. There we go. Switch this off button to on. Install. There we go. Look at that. You have your taskbar at the bottom. No weird bar at the top. You got your date and time over here. Quake right here. Now let's just do one quick thing. This help thing, you could look at that help thing if you want, but I'm just going to unpin it from this dashboard here. Because I don't want to see that. I don't want that in my face. But yeah, now you got the taskbar at the bottom. Because it's my opinion, I don't like it on the side. If you like it on the side, that's fine. You don't have to do this step. This is just what I do. And I think a lot of you might like this. Okay, now let's install some more useful stuff. First, let's just do one thing. Click Start, open up the Settings app. Let's pin this to the dashboard, because you'll need this randomly. I don't know why it isn't automatically pinned to the dashboard. It's pretty useful. Oh, and if you want to customize this bottom taskbar, you could right-click on it, -to panel settings. There we go. All these different settings. You can change the panel thickness, the panel length, the app icon margins and paddings. So we can set this to 4. See? It condenses it a little bit. Behavior, etc., etc. So there we go. What's next? Let's say you want to upgrade your system. We're going to show you the better way of upgrading your computer. So hit F12 now. Sudo apt update. Sudo apt upgrade. Need to get 3,576 kilobytes of archives. After this operation, 223 kilobytes of additional disk space will be used. Do you want to continue? Yes. Now you may have noticed that sudo command, S-U-D-O. That's like giving yourself administrative permissions. Now be very careful when you enter command sudo before it, because that will do anything that you tell it to. So if the command says to delete everything on your computer, if you put sudo before that, it will just do that. So be very careful when you're using sudo, or sudo, or whatever it is. Alright, your computer has been upgraded. Well, let's just install a few extensions into Firefox. This isn't even Linux advice, this is just what I do. So first, Privacy Badger. This will block most trackers. Click Add to Firefox. Add. Okay. Now do a search for uBlock Origin. Will block all your ads. There we go. Isn't that so special? So now Firefox is just the way I like it. Using DuckDuckGo as its default search engine. Got Privacy Badger and uBlock Origin set up. Alright, so up next, why don't we install LibreOffice? Open up the App Center from your taskbar, search for apps. We're just going to search for LibreOffice. There it is, the first results here. Just going to click on that. Click install. Enter the password. Now this will take a little while because it's 1.26 gigabytes. Okay, there we go. So let's not click open there, let's just press start. Now, LibreOffice's version of MICROSLOP Word is called Writer. The version of MICROSLOP Excel is called Calc. Let's say you didn't even know that. Just type Word. There's Writer. Excel again, type Excel. There's Calc. And both of those will open. This a lot. Just right click on it on the taskbar, click into dash, it'll stay there. Now say you want to install Signal Messenger because you are smart and you use Signal Messenger. Do a search for Signal Messenger, Signal Desktop, okay. Install and your start key, start typing Signal. Now here's something you can do. You can right click on it within this view here. Click into dash here. There we go. You don't need to actually open that. And say you want a graphics editor. Now, this is nothing like Photoshop. Photoshop is, I'll be honest, better. But we're going to install GIMP, which is pretty powerful. And it's called GIMP. Isn't that so special? The New Image Manipulation Program. Click on that. Install that. It wants the password again. So be it. Okay, hit start. Type GIMP. Open that. It's going to take a while to open because this virtual machine doesn't have too many resources. So as we're waiting for that to open, let's install the video editor that I use. KDN Live. KDN Live. There we go. GIMP. Now we're going to pin that to the dashboard as well, or the taskbar rather. Install KDN Live. Let's go. Well, let's go. Let's take a look at the File Explorer. It's pretty basic here. Set it to details, which is what I like. Got 0 items in most of these directories here. Downloads, documents. Make a new folder, Control-Shift-M, folder name, weather. Now say you want to use this folder that you just made a lot, just drag it here. Yeah, so now you can just go to your weather directory anytime that you need to. KDN Live is done. KDN Live, we're not going to use it now. Actually, yeah, let's open it up. Well, that's opening. Let's do a search for LMMS. There's KDN Live. Oops. Right click that, into dash. Now this is a Debian package. I won't get into the differences between Debian and Snap. But we're going to want to install this. This is the Linux Multimedia Studio. It's kind of like Fruity Loops, if you ever used Fruity Loops. If you know what I'm talking about. You can make music using this. That'll take a while. Anyways, you get the picture. It's pretty basic, isn't it? If you put your mouse on the taskbar at the bottom and scroll to the right, you have another desktop. So you could put applications here, have applications here. Anyways, I think that's really it. That's the tutorial. You follow along? Does it all make sense? If it doesn't make sense, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. This has been the What's Happening Linux installation and usage tutorial. Thank you very much.